Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Thursday, December 12th. We got to make sure we note, date, cross our T's, dot our I's. That way we can always keep track of what the hell Joe Biden is doing or their lack of. Now, this guy needs to get out of office quick. We got drones flying around. We got Russia still dealing with Ukraine. We got terrorist attacks happening across the globe. We got Joe Biden funding terrorism. We got Joe Biden freaking allowing more stuff to cross the southern border, like fentanyl, like other drugs, like these cartel. The freaking weapons are moving back and forth. He's sending more money to Ukraine, which is just being laundered. He's sending more weapons to Ukraine, which is just going to be sold off into the market. I mean, what the heck is going on? That's a damn opener right there, Patriots. Good to see all of you. We got a lot of news to cover. We got freaking planes, trains, and drones flying over New Jersey. We didn't do it justice yesterday talking about it, so we're going to make sure we break some of that down. I'm going to give you my theory on what the hell I think is going on. We also have a lot of Trump news. We got Kash Patel, FBI director news. We got it all, baby. We're going to make sure we try to get through all of it today with you. If you could support us, a small conservative podcast like myself, hit that like button. It does justice in sending our content out there to new viewers who haven't seen our channel or our videos, so it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're choosing to watch us, if you can stick all the way through, it does help our analytics. If you do check out a video in the future, watch it all the way through. If you're not interested in it, pop that thing on mute and just walk away. And that way it does help our analytics, and well, they'll send it out to more people and we can grow here at the show. And it's all for free. Thank you so much, Patriots. Let's jump into the news. I figured we'd start with a good article today, and it's all surrounding CNN. And you might be thinking, Brad, there's nothing good about CNN. Why would you bring that up? Well, this one is, because CNN's ratings are terrible. They're so bad. CNN falls to Food Network, Hallmark Channel in ratings battle following Trump's victory. You know what? I don't think this is included. There was a time when CNN was getting beaten out by Nick at Night. Remember Nickelodeon? And then like at nighttime, everybody goes to sleep, so they call it Nick at Night. Yeah, CNN was getting beat by them. What? People are sleeping. CNN ratings continue to struggle, falling behind cable channels like Food Network and the Hallmark Channel following President-elect Donald Trump's victory. Now, I know a lot of the ladies like the Hallmark Channel. And look, I like a good Food Network channel as well, but CNN needs to change something up. And please, you're going to see in a moment, these executives will drive companies into the ground. It's not about you guys, not about the money. It's not about making profit. It's about pushing an ideology. And if they could push the ideology on the backs of somebody else that's losing said profit, hey, doesn't matter. They'll cripple the company if they have to. That whole agenda, and that's why we wrote an entire book on it, that whole leftist agenda is destructive by nature. That's why it's called Trojan Horse, how the left is destroying America. Because that ideology is crippling. It's a virus. It's a plague. And you're going to see it happen to CNN if they don't turn something around. Despite a busy news cycle with Trump cabinet announcements, the murder of health insurance CEO Brian Thompson, because everybody likes true crime, and chaos in Syria, you got Assad being pushed out and taken over by terrorists. The ratings were dismal for the network's primetime shows like Anderson Cooper 360 and The Source with Caitlin Collins. I mean, look, she sucks. I don't even know how the hell this lady got a job. I could have speculations, which I'm not going to say on YouTube since they want to sit there and hound me so much. She should be let go. You thought Brian Stelter was bad. I mean, he's bad, but she's really bad. The evening lineup averaged total of 367,000 total viewers between 8 and 11 p.m., which is prime time, peak hour, baby. You're laying in bed. You're just, oh, God, I need to figure this out. Fox News averaged 2.5 million primetime viewers last week. That's without Tucker Carlson there anymore. Can you imagine? Could you imagine if Tucker was still there at Fox? The audience for CNN wasn't just less than Food Network. Oh, here we go. Here's a list. This is going to be brutal. Food Network, Fox News, Hallmark Channel, MSN, DNC, ESPN, Freeform. I've never even heard of that. TNT, Discovery, INSP, Hallmark, Mystery, TLC, TBS, History, HGTV, USA, and Paramount. In fact, it came 17th in cable in just prime time. So it is a possibility. It is a possibility that Nick at Night beat them out. As I mentioned, you guys, it's not about making a profit. It's not about actually getting truth out to the American people. The leftist idea is all about pushing an agenda upon the American people. And CNN is doing it, and what they're seeing is their ratings collapse. You would think that you would be able to sit there and look at what just happened in the election, and then as a company or corporation, maybe make some sort of an adjustment to how you're going to be portraying things to the American people. Well, you have here Google throwing out a Christmas ad that features a dude dressed in a dress. I don't know what this is, ladies. You'll have to inform all of us men what we're looking at here. I don't look. It's an ideology. It's pushing. It's cringy.
So dry. This winter dryness is not it, especially when I have so many holiday looks to pull off. Thankfully, I know just the thing. And it's in stock nearby. Hydrated skin is a gift to everyone. No wrapping needed. Happy holidays to me. So dry.
Moving on. I don't know why I showed that. I'm sorry. I apologize. You know what? I apologize to all of you. Yeah. I put you through it. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to have more there, but I think I said what needed to be said. Yes. There you go, Stevens. You got it. Yep. I don't feel good about it. Yeah. We make mistakes. Yeah, we make mistakes. See how that works? See how I own up to my mistakes? Yeah, I probably should have shown that. Yeah. That'd be good content. Hadn't seen it. Nope. But you want to know who won't own up to their mistakes? CNN, the legacy media, for lying to us about everything. Russia, the Hunter Biden laptop, Iran, freezing $10 billion. But no, behold, they just secretly released the $10 billion that we covered yesterday. Yeah, see how that works? I apologize. Yeah. And you know what you guys are probably going to do? You're probably going to forgive me. Thank you. See how all that works? But the Biden administration can't do that. Our intelligence community can't do that. Nobody can seem to do that. These corporations can't seem to pull their head out of there. You know what? And clearly acknowledge it. I mean, people are saying, what the F? Yeah. Nobody wants to see that. It's awkward. What's most weird about this is it goes against business. You're catering to a fringe group, like a small fraction of a percent of people. That doesn't make any sense. Anybody that's been to business school, there's this famous, it's not a case, but it's talking about Band-Aids in business school. And Band-Aids were primarily one color because there's a lot more white people in the world that have this color skin. And so what they did was they just made Band-Aids that would be mass produced and would be able to cater and make a really solid profit because most people had that color skin that would match the Band-Aid. Well, what happened was Band-Aid companies were being told that they were racist because they weren't making, a darker color Band-Aid to cater to, other people, smaller population of the planet or whatever country you're in. And they don't understand on a business perspective. It's like a Band-Aid just there to, figure the, help the wound, like keep it covered, keep it disinfected, all that stuff. And that's what they're pushing. And so it makes sense on a business level that you would cater to a bigger market rather than cater to a small one, because if you want to sit there and make more profit, you would have to produce more things that are going to sit there and be able to be bought by more people. Why would you push that ad? Who the hell are you talking to other than those people? Which I don't know what that was. I don't know. I don't know if that was trans. I don't know if that's, we used to just call it cross-dressing. When the hell did this trans stuff just all start up here? It was just cross-dressing. You would sit there on Fox, right? This is going back, everybody's going back to like the 90s. You would sit there, look at Fox, and it was late at night, and the show Cops would come on. And then you're seeing this guy step out of a freaking, semi truck after being pulled over by highway patrol, and he's in his high heels and a dress, and they're going, all right, this dude's a little off. He's cross-dressing. Look, everybody has their demons. Everybody has the weird crap they're into. Honestly, I didn't really judge. I'm like, okay, that was weird. I was a young kid. I go, that's a little off, but he's into some stuff. Leave the guy alone. Okay, give him the ticket, allow him to move on. Stop sitting there harassing the guy, making him walk the line because you think he's drunk in high heels. And I mean, it was funny, but you know what I'm saying? Cross-dressing. What are you doing here, Google? What are you doing? And they hound me. They hound me for conspiracy theories. But yet they're going out pushing. I caught myself. That deserves a like. I caught myself. They're going out. They're calling us conspiracy theorists. Remember how we got the video taken down, a massive strike, which nosedived our channel? Well, why do they get away with pushing conspiracy theories? Because a man can't become a woman. Why do they get away with it? So they're a bunch of freaking hypocrites because they're pushing that ideology, which is completely false. A man cannot become a woman and a woman cannot become a man. It is not possible as of right now. And I say as of right now because maybe we'll get into some wonky donkey technology in the future when I'm long and gone. But it's frustrating as hell when you push that stuff, and it's okay for you to say all that stuff. But when I say something that's actually factual and true, well, oh, we can't have that. Oh, no, no, no. Well, speaking of other people that are getting hit with speaking factual news, but saying a bunch of false stuff about them, we got news here on Pete Hegseth before we get into the drone stuff. He says fire everyone in charge. So conservatives railed against the U.S. Military Academy of West Point. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. On Wednesday, after it was reported that the academy told a left-wing journalist, of course, that Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, was never accepted into the school, which is false. But, you know, these journalists will believe anything. It's like this. If I said something bad to them about Joe Biden, let's go pull 3 to 8 sources somewhere, make sure we find it. We want to make sure it's not anonymous, right? We got to post those sources' names. I want to make sure I do my due diligence. When it comes to anything bad about Trump, for some ungodly reason, they throw out their entire education where they learn that you need to have multiple sources, credible sources, and actually do some fact checking and real world journalism like we used to see in the 70s and 80s and, get this stuff straight. But they turn a blind eye. It's a weird thing. Like Trump derangement syndrome, it really messes with people and they turn a blind eye to it. You know what I mean? Rather than, hey, why don't you just look at it and hold on for a moment and do your due diligence? Don't just take something that's negative about Trump and automatically attribute it to truth. Hunter Biden laptop. Hell, the PP hoax tape, Russia hoax, all this stuff completely fabricated. And they are fabricating a lot of stuff about this great man. As reported, the Daily Wire, Hegseth scooped ProPublica, which was preparing to publish a story about Hegseth supposedly lying about getting into West Point. After Hegseth posted a photo of his acceptance letter, ProPublica said West Point's public relations office told them twice on the record that Hegseth never even applied to the academy. Oh, so you sat there, yeah, I made a phone call. That was good enough. Made a phone call. Did it ever occur to these journalists that maybe there's some nut jobs at West Point that work in the records office or the public relations that maybe never Trumpers, that maybe anti-Trump, that maybe have an agenda, that don't care about giving you the truth, that just wanted to push a false story? Maybe that could happen. But don't worry, guys. They called them twice. Yeah, no, they did the due diligence. Yeah. They talked to some freaking secretary that doesn't have a clue what the hell's going on. Yeah. Great job. However, after Hegseth sent the outlet his acceptance letter, ProPublica ignored the story. Oh, why didn't you just call Pete? Shocker. Wow, what a primary source that was. These people went to college. Most likely these journalists went to college. Oh, I'm gonna call West Point. Well, wouldn't you do your due diligence and sit there and make sure all the variables that go into somebody getting accepted that would actually take place here? Wouldn't you just talk to Pete? Novel idea, isn't it? Novel. But we're teaching them here, folks. There might be a journalist in here. We're teaching them, yes. You want to know who's a phenomenal journalist, and I really do mean this, is Philip Wegman. Philip Wegman of Real Clear Politics, that's a real journalist. Not only does his work show it, but the guy looks like a journalist. I mean, there is no person that looks more journalist in that White House press briefing room than Phil. And Phil looks damn good. He's a handsome man, as sharp as a tack, and he does a damn good job, and that's why I like him. And by the way, you guys, I want to be clear. I still, to this day, don't know if Phil is a Democrat or Republican, and I've always said I don't care. He does his job well, and he's somebody that can be trusted, which I appreciate, because they're few and far between in the freaking media. So trust Phil. Check him out, Real Clear Politics. Great man. We love him here. quickly, some online question why ProPublica didn't publish a story about West Point, giving them false information. You want to know who those are? Those are the left. Yeah. The reason why the left wanted that, because it gives them ammo to sit there and send it to all their leftist friends and indoctrinate their leftist friends, because it's disgusting stuff. They know it was false. They wanted that false information posted, which is, by the way, disinformation when you know something's false and you still go ahead and post it. This is the left, right? But the left come for us when it's misinformation. The left come for us when it's like, oh, you're spreading disinformation, which shows they don't know what the hell which one's which. West Point was also criticized for what the Academy called an error. Officials at the U.S. Military Academy should not be feeding lies to left-wing reporters about President Trump's nominees. Correct! And who said that? Of course it was Tom Cotton, because he has his head on straight all the time. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. West Point needs to be thoroughly investigated and check out these egregiously bad judgment and potential violation of the Privacy Act immediately. Cotton published a photo of the letter he sent to West Point. Well, good for him. Good for him. Finally, somebody has their head on straight that's sticking up for freaking Pete. You got JD Vance coming into the mix here. You were misled by a bureaucrat. That's actually a story, just not the one you wanted to print. The effort to tank Hegseth's nomination is one of the most coordinated smear campaigns I've ever seen in D.C. You got Stephen Miller here. A journalist would now focus on why the West Point Office of Public Affairs lied to them, as opposed to simply dropping the original story because it didn't pan out the way they wanted. God, it sounds a lot like what Bald Brad was just saying here on the show of, why would you sit there and just assume that they would tell you the truth and not just go to the main primary source, which is the guy himself? I don't trust anybody anymore. I'm not going to sit there and just take a few blanket statements like, oh, this person's good. You don't know who the hell's working in that office. That person might not even have a GED. And no offense to anybody that doesn't have a GED. All I'm saying is they got into a position that maybe they shouldn't have got into. You also have Sean Davis here. West Point lied to you about the incoming SecDef, and you didn't think it was worth a story? That's not journalism. You were looking to run a partisan hit, and when it failed, you tried to slink away and pretend it never happened. What do we call that? Turning a blind eye. Nothing to see here, folks. Now, this is how sad things have gotten for the media. We have to be thankful that they didn't publish the story. No, we have to be kissing their feet that they didn't publish a story. That's how low this journalism, media, whatever you want to call it, entertainment has gotten, where we're like blown away that they actually didn't publish it, that they're not just sitting there pushing lies like they normally do. Wow. You got Sean here says the real question in the story here is why West Point lied to you, because it seems the motivation was to hurt Pete's chances of becoming SecDef, which in turn could mean a military officer wanted to undermine a president-elect. And this, folks, is precisely why we need Pete. Get rid of the deep state, get rid of all these people, fire them all, get rid of them, lay them all off. Like I said, my first test for Trump, because he said it, my first test for Trump, you said on day one, Mr. President, that you want all the names for those involved in Afghanistan on that botched pullout that Joe Biden decided to wake up one morning and do. And that you're going to fire all of them noon, January 20th. Now, I'm not going to hold them to the time, but on January 20th or 21st, one of those two, because I understand crap's busy that day, but it's time to get to work, Mr. President. I want to see names gone. I want to see people fired. I want to see the biggest firing mass let go I've ever seen in human history on day one. That's what I want to see, because then I know he means business. Then I know we're in for the real deal. Well, let's get into the real deal, because there's shit fly. I did it. I cussed. I was doing good. Well, damn it. At least you know it's the real me. I've come out. Look, there's drones flying everywhere, and it's not a good thing. This has been going on for a long time, by the way. This is like new for like American people to realize there's drones flying everywhere. This has been going on years. Joey Diaz on Joe Rogan talked about this a long time ago. It was talking to Joe Rogan about UFOs. Obviously, these aren't UFOs. They're drones. They're not little green men that we know of. But he was saying, hey, these are some sort of craft flying around, saying this like a while ago. And New Jersey is known for having the most reported like UFO reports. And this is a while ago, so this has been going on for a long time. Mind you, remember the huge spy balloon that left mainland China, flew over our entire country, and was shot over the Atlantic? That Joe Biden allowed to happen. We all remember that one. And they were flying over our military installations and like, they were monitoring it. Oh, well, you know, it's not really looks like it's gathering anything. It's just kind of flying there. So we're going to let it do its business and transmit it all to China. You want to know why they didn't shoot it down? This is a real thing. It seems like I'm giving you satire and I'm joking, but I'm not. They said because they don't want to have it fall on anybody when they shoot it down. That's why they shot it down over the Atlantic. Now, I just went to Sedona, Arizona, like 2 weeks ago. And I've driven across country twice to the East Coast and back. I want to point out most of the country is barren. I would also like to point out, because Joe clearly doesn't get this, and neither does our military, which is completely looking, I almost cussed again. It's embarrassing. Our military is embarrassing right now, which we'll get to. It's embarrassing. We don't even know what these are. Not a clue. Shoot one out of the damn sky, and how about you figure that one out? Figure it out. Okay? Oh, well, it's gonna fall on somebody. There's nobody around for 100+ miles, Joe. It's desert. There's nothing. Just shoot it down. It has a potential. No, it doesn't. You're just in bed with the Chinese because they got a lot of dirt on you, asshole. He is. I'm sorry. I know, I ruined it already. Might as well we get down. What's going on, Duke? He is. Look what the guy's done. People's children have been raped and murdered because of Joe, because he doesn't want to do his damn job of executing the laws on the books like the executive branch is supposed to do and secure the damn border. And now he's allowing freaking drones flying over everywhere and going, I don't know what it is. Well, why don't you figure it out and get your ass out of bed and away from the freaking beaches of Delaware and get into your job and actually figure this crap out? What an embarrassment that we don't even know what these are. So New Jersey governor, which I'm not a fan of, by the way, says feds have authority to shoot down drones, wouldn't be opposed to them playing more robust role. So we'll kind of cue this video up for you while we get it going. They would love to, throw a little bit of an ad in there for all of us.
Chief in the state of New Jersey is invited to attend a joint briefing with state police and DHS about the increasing drone sightings across the state. State lawmakers met with DHS yesterday, and it didn't go well.
I just sat through an hour and 15 long minute briefing / question and answer period. It was the most amateur hour assessment of what's happening here in the state of New Jersey that I've ever seen. They don't know anything. The briefing I just sat through was a disgrace. It was an insult to our legislatures, and I've never been through a more amateur hour briefing in my entire life.
No, but the only description I can give is one of my constituents said he was driving his Ford F-150, looked up and saw a drone, and the drone was about the same size as his pickup truck.
Jack Ciattarelli is a Republican gubernatorial candidate in New Jersey, joins us now. Jack, you're pretty tapped in. Are you hearing anything from your sources as to what the heck this is, or are you in the dark like the rest of us?
We're in the dark, Todd, and people are frustrated, they're angry, and I'm very, very fearful that soon someone might take matters into their own hands. I hope that's not the case, but 5 days ago, the governor said there was no threat. 3 days ago, he said he was very frustrated with the Biden administration because they weren't being cooperative. And 2 days ago, the FBI said they didn't know whether or not these drones pose a threat. We don't want briefings. We want answers.
Yeah, no, we all want answers, to say the least. And Congressman Jeff Van Drew came out yesterday, said that he's hearing that these drones are coming from Iran. That could be a real possibility. Pentagon press secretary later in the day said that that's not true and that they have ruled out that they're coming from a foreign adversary. But, you hope the Pentagon is right. But how do you rule out a foreign adversary if we don't know where these drones are coming from?
Carly, right now you can't. I mean, let's think about where these drones are showing up. It's not just in your backyard, which is unnerving enough. They're over our water supply. They're over our power lines. They're over our natural gas pipelines. They're over our 911 communication centers. And you can't tell me, with the resources we have available to us in New Jersey, McGuire Air Force Base, Fort Dix, Coast Guard, Air National Guard, the most well-equipped state police force in the country, that we can't get answers? This is ridiculous. It's time.
What bothers me, Jack, the most, I think, is that I, like so many Americans, assumed that we had a de facto dome around our country, and that foreign adversaries, foreign weapons, anything from the outside, by air, by land, by sea, could not get in. Well, let's face it, the Chinese air balloon sort of shot down that notion before we shot down the balloon. And any indication that we are sort of protected has really gone by the wayside with these drones that are just permeating New Jersey. So how confident should the American public feel in their Pentagon, in their FBI, in their entire national defense apparatus that we're safe from foreign invaders?
Thank you.
You want to believe we still have the most technologically advanced military in the world, Todd, but the problem is
questioning that
Joe Biden and our governor, Phil Murphy, are taking the same laissez-faire approach to this as they do to the border and the threat of illegal immigration. Let's get our act together here. There's no reason why we can't figure this out. It's been close to a week now that this has been taking place.
Well, there's also, like I said, we also watched them fly a freaking drone in other places. If you recall, remember that spy balloon was only one thing that flew over. Remember, they shot down a couple other things. They never told us what they were. There was one speculation that we had the Air Force fly out and shoot one of these things down. I say things because, hand to God, we don't know what they are. I'm not saying they're UFO. Well, they, by definition, are UFOs because we don't know what they are, but I'm not saying they're aliens. And shoots it down, but he misses. We spent $500,000 missile, and that's literally the price of it. And we missed it. The guy couldn't shoot that down, so he had to shoot another one. We spent $1 million on this thing. And rumor was that it was actually some kid's party balloon. It's not an exaggeration. That was one of the articles that came out from a local area, that it was a party balloon that Joe shot down. There was another one that we also shot down. This is all around the same time frame of like the same month, maybe even less than that. It might have been like 2 or 3 weeks. And you remember John Kirby stood on the podium for one of these objects, not just the spy balloon. And he goes, yeah, we shot it down over some rough terrain. We're just not going to be able to get to it. Really? Like, you can't, what? You're telling me that, I'm not saying you should send in, SEAL Team 6 or whatever for something like this. We don't know what it was. These guys sit there and do some crazy maneuvers in storm weather in the middle of the ocean with lightning happening. You're telling me we have the most powerful military on earth and we can't sit there and drop a couple guys down on a freaking side of a mountain and figure out what the hell you just shot down and maybe gather some intelligence and then zip them back up or whatever the hell you want to do? Really? I'm telling you, I don't have a lot of confidence in the military right now, you guys, which is not good because I'm a big supporter of the military. Big supporter. And you know what it is? It's the people on top. It's the people at the top that need to be let go. And case in point, why we need Kash Patel, which we'll get into, and Pete Hegseth. If there's never any reason, this is the reason why right here. So with all that, you would think, hey, you know what? Our military might sit there and want to put like more funding and maybe defense so we could figure out and maybe hire some people to either build drones, because we're behind on that technology, because mostly all those drones are coming from China, by the way. I said that yesterday. But you would think, hey, maybe we would spend some, money in our military to actually make it better. No. You're about to fall over in your chair. Pull over if you're driving. House passes. But keep it together. I'm going to keep it together here. House passes $900. Listen carefully. $900. I can't even say it. It takes my breath out of me. $900 billion defense bill defunding transgender procedures for military minors. This year's National Defense Authorization Act passed the House of Representatives Wednesday by 281 to 140, authorizing almost $900 billion in spending. 200 Republicans and 81 Democrats voted for this. If you think we're out of the woodworks with Donald Trump being president or next president, these are the people that we're having to deal with here. Now, there must have been something pretty damn good in that bill to have 200 Republicans think it was okay to vote for something like this. And that's why we need single item spending. Kind of what you see from, what state is it? There's a state that does that. That's like, if you're going to spend, let's say I want to spend $1,000 on Q-tips, let's just say, that you would have that line item and you got to prove it. Everybody say yes, everybody say no. Moving on. Next one. I want to buy $5,000 worth of scissors for the military. Line item, cool. Everybody vote. That's how it's supposed to be done. But this is the crap they do. Section 708 of the NDAA states that medical interventions for the treatment of gender dysphoria that could result in sterilization may not be provided to a child under 18. Daily Wire first reported this language on Saturday. Democrats and left-wing activists have argued that transgender procedures for children are life-saving and prevent kids from committing suicide. Republicans, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, have basically pushed back against these claims, pointing out that these procedures can sterilize children and argue that the military's goal is to defend the United States, not transition children. What a thought. What a thought, Mike. God, it sounds a lot like common sense. You don't have to be a rocket science for any of these things. Do you notice that we don't go really deep into a ton of stuff? I mean, we could, but it generally gets kind of boring. This is obvious. Today's NDAA is a step forward in restoring our armed forces. Oh, okay. By rejecting the woke agenda and refocusing on military readiness. Yeah, sounds like it. No, yeah, sounds like it. We got drones flying over. We don't know what they are. This bill bans this TRICARE coverage for sex change surgeries for minors, authorizes National Guard deployments to secure our southern border, and provide 19.5% pay raises for junior enlist personnel. So, yeah, whatever. Okay. I wanted to more or less show you this. Bonkers. So there, remember, read it, is House passed 900 defense bill, but defunding transgender surgeries for minors. The left wanted this stuff. 900 billion though, still. What is involved in that is what I want to know. Can you believe that they wanted to do this at the beginning? Or allow this to happen? I'm blown away that this is what our military, it makes you wonder what else they were wanted to spend on or are spending on originally. So good for them for defunding transgender procedures for military minors. House passes $900 billion defense bill. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But there still must have been something pretty damn good, right? In that bill to spend freaking 200 Republicans spending on that. All right. So again, the UFO mystery still goes on here. So instead of just spending money where it needs to be spent appropriately, we're probably spending on a bunch of foo-foo stuff. Because remember, if that transgender stuff would have been let in, it makes you wonder what other stuff kind of got through, squeaked through the cracks there. Authorities taking mystery UFO sightings in New Jersey deadly serious, governor says. So we covered this yesterday. They're taking it deadly serious, but they have no clue what it is. They don't know where it's from. They don't know where they're going. They don't know where they're landing. They don't have anything. They're not even quite sure, you guys, that they're honestly even drones. They said, well, it's not United States, not us. It's not a foreign adversary. And they said like one other thing that didn't even make any sense, and that comes from the Pentagon. So this guy sat there. Governor Phil Murphy has spoken with White House officials about the very sophisticated drones over New Jersey. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. Well, if you're taking it that serious, like you're laser focused, why aren't you getting answers? So here's my speculation before we move on about more of this UFO stuff. I think it is our drones. Let me show you what I'm going to post here that I saw yesterday. I tweeted it. I think it could potentially be either our drones. There's a lot of them. So it's some average Joe American thinking it's funny flying this crap everywhere. Or the other speculation that I have is that it's China. And where's China flying this in from? I have no idea. But like I said, they've allowed them to fly a bunch of other stuff over our military installations, not just once or twice. That spy balloon was just one. You guys, they track these spy balloons all over the globe. I don't know if y'all remember us talking about that, where in South America, China's flying balloons all over the place. Can you imagine all the balloons that are flying over or things that are in our airspace that we know nothing about, like just the American people? Can you imagine what the hell's going on here? And who's not doing it? This is why they need to be fired. I'm telling you, you're not safe in your own country. Our airspace Israel has a better airspace protection than we do. A lot of other countries, which we're funding, by the way, and sending them all this stuff, have better protection for their own borders than we do. When are we going to get it together? When are we going to get it together? Do you think it could possibly be Iran? And yeah, I do think it could possibly be Iran. Absolutely. I said that yesterday. The only reason I'm hesitant to say it's Iran is because the Pentagon lady came out and said that it wasn't. I think it very well could be. I don't have a clue. No clue. In our own country. Got terrorists here, got sex traffickers, rapists, murderers, clearly drones from potentially other countries flying around, gathering whatever intelligence. Remember, Trump's golf course is around here, but this is crazy. I don't know, Jay, at all. The Project Unity. New Jersey drones update. Folks, I'm going to be clear. Take this with a grain of salt, please. I'm hearing from multiple sources in the military that the reason why the drones are not being addressed appropriately to the public is because they are U.S. drones and they are being deployed due to a threat of a biological/nuclear attack. Thoughts? Take it with a grain of salt. I just saw it. I thought it was an interesting take of something it could be. And I want to bring this up because I was talking to my wife about this last night. Nobody's aware of this, by the way. There was a alleged nuclear threat. This might have been during the Clinton eras. Some of you might know this. There was a nuclear threat where somebody, we felt through our military that somebody stole or had a nuclear bomb in like New York or Washington, D.C. And this is a real story, by the way, real, like confirmed, real thing. And what they did was they took the entire cabinet, and I think either their wives and children or they left their wives and children at home and just completely put them all in their different bunkers and all these other things to see if they could track down this nuclear warhead in like New York City or Washington, D.C. is one of the two. Nobody knew about it. And this guy was talking, I forget his name. He works with Lou Elizondo. He was like the former secretary to the defense secretary. And he's a big, he's actually a very wealthy guy. I forget his name. But he works with Lou Elizondo, all the UFO guys, but he's also part of our government at one point. And he was talking about the story, how he got taken off and put into a whole separate holding facility. And I don't remember if it was they found it or it was just ended up not playing out or they don't know where it went and kind of just left it at that. But that was a real thing, meaning that there could have potentially been a nuclear warhead lost in New York City, and everybody living in New York City during the Clinton era or whoever eras it was would have no idea. Wild. So I bring that up because it is possible for something like this to take place and you're just not aware of it, and that the military and Joe Biden could be crapping their pants right now, that there could be a dirty bomb. Hence why I wanted to bring this up, because the guy mentioned that they're flying over our water. And I'm not talking just all, obviously, the Atlantic there, right? I'm talking about like the clear, like clean, pure water that you drink, that you put in your coffee. You drop one of those bad boys, right? If you're dropping something in the water from one of those drones, which you could do, hell, Amazon sits there and drops your packages off to you. Possible. Anything's possible. Take it. Again, I don't want you guys spreading, oh, I heard there's a threat. I heard there's biologics. Just be careful, please. That's all I ask. Now, we covered this yesterday. Again, Congress sounds off on these unknown drones flying over New Jersey, New York. Mind you, this has been going on for quite some time. Isn't anything new. It's not anything new. And we're trying to get answers. And for some ungodly reason, our military's going, yeah, we don't know what it is. Which makes me think makes me think if they don't know what it is, and I think they do know what it is, that this is a possibility, which is what's kind of scary to me. Many variables. U.S. drones, Chinese drones, Iran's drones. You can't just shoot these ones down because it actually is over a populated airspace. So but you could just follow it. That's what's odd to me. Just get it. Just have it staggered, right? Because I understand there's fuel consumption. Just sit there and stagger some, get an F-22 out there, you know what I mean? And sit there and track it. And then have another one that's about however long behind, so you can sit there, and that way when this one pulls off, you have the next one lined up to sit there and track it. They can't stay up there forever, and see where they're landing. Why is it we can figure this out, you guys, in a closet? In California, a closet, we can figure this out, but our own military can't do this? Which makes me think they know what it is, which makes me think it's possibly us. There's a giant bug on my wall just there, scared the crap out of me. I'm being invaded. They're coming in. I'm talking about aliens. But you guys know what I mean, right? Where it's like, come on. I killed it. I'm a murderer. I won. But you know what I mean, right? Where it's like, come on. Come on. We get into some good news here. No, we actually have some more really, really good news, but let's get into some really good stuff here with this advertisement. And I want you guys to get these up like hotcakes. It's a really great, look, Christmas around the corner. What I'm about to present to you is free. So if you just grab these up, it's great for a kid. If look, all of us have Trump families. Really awesome ad here. So I have to take a moment here to stop and address parents with something very important. As President Trump prepares for his second term, he said he wants to teach our kids to love our country, reversing radical anti-American rhetoric that our kids are hearing in classrooms across the country, and clearly from Google with that Christmas ad that we just watched a while ago. The best place for kids to start is to learn all about President Trump and his vision to make America great again during his second term. That's why Mike Huckabee's team put together the Kids Guide to President Trump Victory Edition. And to celebrate President Trump's return to the White House, they're giving it away for free. 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 This book is great because it features full illustrations and content teaching kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his goals for his second term. Mike Huckabee wants to send your family this free guide so you could teach your kids the truth about President Trump and his mission to make America great again. But please hurry because supplies are limited. Every time I do one of these plugs for these free, like the stickers or this one, they go like hotcakes. And like I said, it's the holiday season. Great and easy gift where you don't have to spend money, and money's tight because of Bidenomics. You can claim your free Kids Guide to President Trump Victory Edition for your kids right now. See offer details and our order guide here, the free guide, at kidstrumpguide.com. That's kids with an S, trumpguide.com. You can also use the QR code. Links in the description as well on the Rumble video. I'll make sure I try to add it to the YouTube video as well. Check that out. So a really, really great gift. Also, if the kid's a Democrat, not a bad idea to toss that to him right now as well. So he's, getting a little bit of actual truth thrown in his face every once in a while. You got, I almost said CBS, FBI clueless about mystery drones flying over New Jersey. Remember how I said we need Kash Patel in there? Because the FBI has their heads so far up there, you know what, going after Americans rather than actually figuring out what the hell's going on around the country. They don't know what's going on either. So you got these drones here. And I just want to go through this because I just typed in drones on X, and this is what the fellow Americans are posting. People look it up. If I see a drone over my house, I'm shooting it. I don't think this person realizes how big these drones are. Some of them are the size of like cars or like multiple cars. They're not, people keep thinking like there's these little drones that we always see. These are massive, you guys. These are like military. It looks like they're military grade drones. You shoot that down and that thing goes and plows into somebody's house and kills a family of 4. Yeah, you're going to jail forever. All your assets are being seized. The amount of lawsuits that are being involved in that is crippling. You're never going to recover. Your wife's never going to recover. Your family will never recover. You just killed a whole nother family right there. Not to mention all the insurance claims are going to be going through the roof because of that. Yeah, big problem. So people say stuff all the time like, I'm going to just shoot this thing out of the sky. Go ahead, man. Let me know how that works out for you. See, I'll be sitting here listening to what happens in my closet and them gathering the intelligence from all of it. And then also hearing what happened with you and going into somebody's house and all your stuff. So what if China wanted to drop a virus on us? There you go. That's what a lot of people are talking about. That the idea it could be our drones and that we're trying to track things of what's going on. And you know what? I wasn't going to share this. I've never shared this story. This is hand to God real, hand in a Bible. My wife doesn't even know about this. I used to live on the East Coast. I lived in Maryland and I would travel up to Washington, D.C. And I was in D.C. I was next to, we'll just say I was next to the White House. We'll just keep it at that. And my wife would know this person, Joe. And Joe was driving and I was in the passenger seat. And I look out the window. This is almost a decade ago, by the way. This is around 2015. And I'm near the White House. And it totally reminded me of this. And there's I think it was the Potomac that kind of funnels through. And I'm looking out to the right and it's dark as hell. And not much sound, but this big black, like huge, like size of a car, was flying down, and I'll never forget. It had the green light on it. I didn't see any red. Usually there's a red and green, right? There's just a green light. Nothing was flickering, and it had a laser that shot down like this, like it was scanning something. You know what I mean? Like when you take like the thing and you could scan somebody, you'd see like the laser and the grid go down. It was flying like this, and it had the scanning going on. I've never shared this story to anybody, by the way, other than Joe was in the car with me, and he saw it. And mind you, it's in DC. It's not like an unpopulated area. It's a major area. And it was huge. And it was flying and it had a laser thing going like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting technology. And I saw it twice. Once with the laser and another night just flying, both around the same area. That's my story. Hand to God real, not making it up at all. I didn't even know what a drone was back then. I just figured it was new technology, and I'm into UFO stories and all that stuff. I didn't think it was alien. It never crossed my mind it was alien. I just thought it was us flying some new stuff around. And why wouldn't it be? That's where the president was. I was like, You saw it too? Are you messing with me, Lee? Lee, let me know if you're messing with me. Because if you did, yeah, it's a real story. So this is what people are saying. Don't look up, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. That's that. Military, Brad. It could have been like like I said, I don't think it was an alien. I thought it was military. I figured I was new to DC around the time. And so I just figured, hey, you know what? The president is around here. It wasn't uncommon to see, Obama was still president. It wasn't uncommon to see, the 3 helicopters, Marine ones flying, and seeing the president fly out. Like, it wasn't uncommon to see that. And so I just figured, like, yo, we got some serious security around here. It made sense to me. Like, okay, yeah, they're scanning for stuff, make sure everything's legit. I didn't think anything of it, and I was like, whatever. That's what it does remind me of LiDAR, but man, I've never seen it. Like, you could actually see it though. Like the green, you know what I mean? Like freaking like the Predator, man. And like it had like a scanner, and there was a huge line on the ground. You could see it, and it was going, whoa. Weird. I don't see the drones doing this here, but I thought I didn't know if I was going to share it, because I didn't want to think you guys like, oh, this guy's cracked out of his mind. What a weirdo. It really happened, man. And again, I'm not saying it's aliens. And hand to God, I don't think it's aliens. I just think it was our tech. I really do. Uh-oh. Okay, we're here. My screen went black. Well, here's some other news here. Hamas records taken by Israel show UNRWA top school administrators also were Hamas terrorists. Oh. Jesus. Oh, gotcha. See how we made a really hard turn there? We were talking about planes, trains, and drones, and now we're back to terrorism. So documents shared with the New York Times impelled the media outlet to admit that senior staff at UNRWA, is it UNRWA? I thought it was UNRWA or something. UNRWA? How do you say it? I think it's UNRWA. It doesn't matter. Schools doubled as members. See, I'm a simple man. Members of Hamas's military wing. So wild. It's kind of like what we have here, where a bunch of teachers in the United States are just left-wing activists, and then their teachers second. They go to the classroom and indoctrinate your kids. You're talking to an educator here. I don't do that. I don't talk about politics. See, I'm able to separate it. Are there times where you do talk about politics in the classroom? Of course, it depends on your subject. If you're talking about government, you're going to be talking about politics all the time. If you're talking about U.S. history, you're going to be talking about politics all the time. If you're in statistics, a lot of the stuff we look at is political, because you're trying to gather information about, do people like guns? Do they not like guns? Do people like taxes? Do they not like taxes? This study was done on this. This study was done on that. Like, inherently, it's going to be brought up in some way, shape, or form. I mean, hell, I'm even on edge talking about the fact of a lot of studies talk about men and women. And you piss people off there. Well, where's the non-binary? I don't know. I'm pulling it from the textbook. Not sure. Maybe that didn't exist when they made the textbook. No idea. But we don't talk, nobody asked that to be, I want to be clear. Nobody asked, where's the non-binary? But you get what I mean, is like some of these teachers are just activists, and then the teaching second. That's all it is. I call them activist teachers. And by the way, a lot of them aren't like that. Just a heads up. Okay. But some of them are, like the crazy ones. So the agency, which employs roughly 13,000 people, including thousands in the schools, has a duty to maintain the neutrality of its facilities in the conflict zones in which it operates, including by keeping militants off its premises and payrolls. But as shown by the detailed records kept Hamas's military wing that were seized by Israel, at least 24 people employed by the anti-Israel UN Relief and Workers Agency in their schools were members of Hamas and Islamic Jihad. And then people are wondering, like, hey, why is my kid coming out saying Allah Akbar? Well, I don't know. I could probably take a guess. Eric Birch with the $5, this time over at Rumble. Thank you, sir. Good morning, Patriot family. Greatly appreciate you, sir. Thank you for always having the $5, coming in hot in the morning, always deserving an ad read. $5 every day, man. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. You guys, I've always said this, all your money, 100% goes back into the show. We do not pocket any of this. 100%, everything. And some of my money, obviously, goes into the show. So I really appreciate you guys donating. Don't feel like you have to. You watching is enough. I just want to always thank all the Patriots for those that contribute. Thank you for everybody that's starting to contribute also over on my website. Thank you. I get notification every time. It tells me. Really appreciate you guys doing the constant donations through there. Really appreciate it. It helps out tremendously. Thank you. We're actually able to upgrade things when it breaks. We're running with a bad computer for a long time. You guys really helped out with that. Thank you for pulling through. All right. You see the drones, you see the terrorism, you see the border, you see what's going on everywhere, the crime that's happening. And this is why we need Mr. Kash Patel. One of the greatest picks Trump made. This is basically an RFK Jr. And I wanted that because I want the JFK files. I want the Epstein list. I want people being fired. I want entire divisions gone. I want it all figured out. Trump rips FBI Director Wray, who's going to step down, by the way, outlines goals for Kash Patel taking over. Now, I want to be clear. When I said that he's going to step down, I mean that in all literal sense, that he sat there and said, oh, I'm just going to finish with the president and then I'm going to basically resign, is what his speech was, because he knows he's going to get fired. Why would you sit there and wait? Just go out. You know things are done for you because you sucked at your job. You lied to Congress multiple times, which means you lied to the American people. We watched you do it, Christopher. The 1023 form. How is it I could just pull it off the top of my head without any prep, Chris? The 1023 form with Chuck Grassley. It doesn't exist. I've never heard of it. Where is it? And he pulled it in front of your face, and all of a sudden you knew what he was talking about. All of a sudden it was real. Huh? Yeah, I'm glad you're getting your hell out. I'm glad he's getting the hell out of there. FBI sat there and round up freaking grandmas for going to service during COVID, targeting conservatives or Republicans for worshiping their God. Christ is king, by the way. Pisses me off. You got freaking drones flying over and you're arresting freaking Americans for going to church during COVID. Give me a freaking break. Get off your high horse and why don't you arrest some of these criminals that are raping and murdering our children? Why don't you do your damn job? I'm so tired of this. People not doing their job. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Get you going. I almost sound like I'm from Minnesota. Get you going, you know? Anybody here from Minnesota? We might have just had like a really close interaction right there. But it's true, man. Like, don't take the position of FBI director if you feel like you can't do it. Trump made the remarks during a Meet the Press with Kristen Welker, and I do have a few of these clips already geared up for you from that interview. And we saw this interview a while ago. Is it anything new?
That somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam. And Pam Bondi has been like a rocket ship. She's very popular and very good and very fair. And Kash Patel is very fair. I'll tell you, I thought Kash may be difficult because he's, a strong conservative voice. And I don't know of anybody that's not singing his praises. The other day I was watching, and Trey Gowdy, who's a moderate person and very smart and very respected in the party.
I love Trey Gowdy. I'm sorry to pause it, but I love Trey Gowdy. He's one of my guys, and Jason Chaffetz. Only two guys in Congress that ever came out going, I like these guys, I love these guys, I trust these guys. Trey Gowdy, Jason Chaffetz are national treasures. National treasures.
He's Kash's biggest fan. He said, this is the most misunderstood man in politics. He's great. I guess they worked together on the Russia hoax or something.
They did.
If they think that...
Yes, Mr. President, they did. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, Kash Patel knows a lot of stuff. I didn't know this, so I learned something new today myself. Brad read my last two comments. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, Brad, read my last two comments. Steven, I see one. It says, from some podcasters, the virus vials have gone to Iranian people and be used on drones to drop virus vials from their air starting from 2025, just after Trump's inauguration. Interesting. And let me see. I don't see where the other one. Oh, there it is. Good. Google virus vials go missing from Queensland, Australia. Over 300 virus vials stolen. 3 types of virus. This is our next pandemic. Interesting take, man. Interesting take. One, thank you for the $2. Greatly appreciate that. And it kind of goes into kind of like what we were talking about there. Yeah, where it could have been some biological thing that's being dropped. That's always been people's fear, being dropped in the water supply, going out and just completely creating a massive problem. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So people can Google that. I don't have it queued up right now, but I'll look into that. Absolutely. I learned something new here with Donald Trump. I didn't know Trey Gowdy gave the green light to Kash Patel. You don't understand. That makes it even that much better. That was like a nice ice cream sundae for me that Trump served up. And then knowing that Kash Patel wanted to do the JFK files, the Epstein list, and release all these things and fire people, that was the topping, right? That was the whipped cream. This ice cream sundae was the best. And what just happened right now with me, knowing that Trey Gowdy was involved in this, and I trust, that says a lot. I don't trust politicians. I don't give a shit who you are. Trey Gowdy is the man. I really do mean that. He's my boy, guys. And anybody that knows me personally knows that I love Trey. That was the cherry on top just now. Just right there. And it was with that, like a Michelin star tweezers, and it was gently placed. You know what I mean? It wasn't this half-ass like we see from the FBI and all these other agencies. No. He did his job well by just placing it nicely on top. You know what I mean? And then he turned it for you so you can see the glisten and the root curve going, this is perfect. That's what just happened right now. That is what just happened. Great pick, Mr. President. And I love that Trey Gowdy's in his ear. So you also have Kash coming out saying, I'll be ready to go on day one. God, this guy's a beast, man. I get goosebumps every time. He's just a boss.
We look forward to a very smooth transition at the FBI, and I'll be ready to go on day one.
Have you talked to President-elect Trump? He just issued a statement on Truth Social supporting you once again and saying this is a great day. Any response to the President-elect?
To the side.
Did he call you after the Ray announcement?
Do you think it was smart for him to resign?
Just ignoring her.
Thank you all. Have a great day. I'm looking forward to my meeting with Senator Johnson.
Normally I don't like people ignoring others, but you know what? Screw the media right now. Screw the media. Bunch of corrupt people lying about Pete Hegseth. You don't deserve to get any. And that's what's sad is some of these journalists are actually good and they deserve to get their questions answered. But if you don't know who's asking you the question, you really can't be trusted anymore. You actually got to gain a reputation here, I feel like nowadays, where you know that these politicians can actually trust you to get correct news out to the American people. And that's why I think we need the right people to get the word out. And I hopefully you feel like I'm one of those people that can get the word out to all of you fine patriots. I really appreciate all the kindness you always show me and also the family of patriots that we have in here. If you're new to the show, we have a ton of patriots that are always in here. The same people, you'll see their same exact names all the time. We're a community here, and we would love for you to be a part of it. You could do that by hitting the follow button or subscribe. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a dime. You just have to sign up for YouTube or Rumble. Check out Rumble because they take care of us over there. They're our main platform that we stream from. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in today. Thank you to everybody that gave their hard-earned money and donations back to the show. Greatly appreciated. And remember, Friday's more of a loosey-goosey show. Tune in then because we'll read a lot more comments. We'll go over the news and just kind of hang out more together in casual conversation. With that being said, Patriots, thank you so much for all your love and support. I really do appreciate all of you. And I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.